Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Wow, seeing everybody really get to fight back against these monsters is incredibly satisfying. It's clear that Karen exhibited unreasonable demands and escalated the situation unnecessarily. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like if you enjoy the content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a juicy story. Karen throws a tantrum, gets treated like a child. Okay, so I work in a Starbucks with a drive-thru currently, and the lines can get really long and crazy. Usually when it's like this and a customer wants to leave without getting anything, they wait till they get to the window and drive past, but not Karen. No, Karen was too important for that. This all starts with her order. I greet her as usual, take her drink, and then the weird crap happens. Okay. Can I get a warm caramel chocolate cookie? Me. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't actually carry those. Okay, immediately huffy. Just put caramel drizzle on a cookie and put it in the oven. It's not hard. Me. I'm sorry? No, I can't do that. We can't put syrups or icing in the oven. Okay. Excuse me? The other store does it. I know for a fact she's full of crap. There's no way in hell any barista put caramel drizzle in the oven and kept their job. For those of you unfamiliar with fast food ovens, they get so incredibly hot, so incredibly fast, that putting any kind of sugar in it creates a sticky, burning, fire hazardous mess. If you're thinking, wait, you used to be able to get warm donuts at Starbucks and they had icing. Yeah, we stopped because it's a bee to clean. It reeks, and sometimes it catches on effing fire. But I digress. I was willing to meet Karen in the middle. I offered to give her a cup of caramel drizzle and a warm cookie, to which she responded, "You know what? I'm not arguing with you. It's not worth my time." And I'm thinking, yeah, you're not arguing with me, because the answer is no. When suddenly, Karen tries to peel dramatically out of the drive-thru line. Here's the thing. We were packed and she tried backing up to get space to turn out and slammed into the car behind her. The girl who got out of the car looked no older than maybe 17. Karen was in her 40s at least. The girl, known as T now, leaped out of the car and began screaming. T, what the hell is wrong with you? K, don't talk to me like that. It was a simple mistake. Your car will be fine. T, fine? You know how much effing overtime I work for this GD car? My front fender's hanging off. Give me your name and insurance now or I'm calling the police. K, I'm sure the fender was hanging off of your trashy little car when you got it. You're harassing me. T, now looking at the mic box they're in front of. I'll show you harassment. Excuse me, do you guys have cameras out here? Me. Yes, ma'am, we certainly do. And I've been watching this whole time. It was like every Christmas and birthday rolled into one watching Karen's face change. Okay, well, this is her fault, gesturing at the mic box. If she had just given me my cookie. T cuts her off. T, are you telling me you slammed into my car because you were throwing a tantrum over an effing cookie? Are you 5? T then spirals into the most beautiful string of obscenities I've ever had the pleasure of hearing with my own 2 ears. Karen tries and fails to interrupt the absolute torrent of telling off she's receiving. I'm surprised T didn't slap her. And get this, everyone else had seen this situation unfold. One man leaned out of his car and asked T if he should block Karen until the police arrived. One girl had gotten out of her car and was taking pictures of the damage for T. It was the most gorgeous scene of humans working together to spite a Karen. The police came, I gave my statement, as did multiple people in line. We all pointed fingers straight at Karen. T got her order and a gift card for free because 1, we felt bad for her, and 2, that was the most entertaining thing we'd seen in months. So now Karen gets to pay to have 2 fenders fixed, and she didn't get her cookie either. Dear Karen, wherever you are right now, F you. Update. I tried the cookie with a coworker. We put drizzle on it, after we warmed it up, of course, and it was delicious. Not worth causing an accident over, but maybe next time you get a cookie at Starbucks, ask your barista for a little cup of drizzle. The story shows how annoying it can be to deal with entitled customers and why it's essential to stick up for yourself when faced with their unreasonable behavior. It also shows how people coming together can make a difference in standing against such behavior. And our second story. I lived through a nightmare HOA. First, I bought a pricey condo in a posh area suburb, good schools. This community of condos had many folks on fixed incomes. There were about 60 units total. I was 37, married with 2 children. The condo was 3,000 square feet, had 3 massive bedrooms, massive bathrooms, massive kitchen, vaulted ceilings, etc. I bought during a buyer's market, and I loved the condo inside. Our condo had the upgraded Florida room, screened patio. I asked for copies of the HOA while we were looking at the condo. I asked 5 more times and had to demand it be shown to me at closing. This was red flag number 1. The condo bylaws were 300 pages of legalese ranging from what kind of car you may park in your driveway to how many guests you may have in your condo to the types of blinds you have to use in your vault windows. The first fine, we had a 25-foot vault in the great room and this weird window that looked like the Death Star. It was high up and I love natural light, so I didn't want to put a shade on it. Nope, fine. The custom shade had to be purchased and installed. It was $450. The fine was $50. The second fine, the HOA did some landscaping, limited to trees and shrubs and mowing grass areas. We needed to mulch, plant flowers, and weed our beds. I left the hose on my enclosed porch. Fine. The third fine, we have 2 dogs. Our dogs didn't walk at the condo as they went to daycare in the daytime and the dog park in the evenings. We had a small patch of grass about 3 by 4 feet, and it was always clean because it was our grass and we are militant about picking up waste. We were fined for someone else letting their dog crap in our yard and not picking it up. I refused to pay this fine and asked the condo to DNA test the waste. At this point, I'm ready to move. The HOA president was this old bee who retired from the post office 600 years ago and spent her life walking the properties and walking up on people's porches with measuring tapes, telling them that their fence is out of square or their door is fading and needs painted, etc. She was the nastiest human being alive. The HOA fees were $300 per month, and every bit of that money was used to sue people, fine people, and administrate the complaint system through a third-party manager. The condo had 0 amenities save a clubhouse that they use for euchre game. You had to beg that woman to use the clubhouse, and she always said no. The last interaction, one Friday afternoon, I'm standing on my porch looking at my shrubs, which have been cut to nubs, and I'm talking to my neighbor about how horrible it looks and why on earth did the HOA cut all our shrubs. When the old biddy comes lumbering around the corner, at this exact moment, my sister-in-law, who was about 19, drives up and parks in a guest spot. She was driving a 7-year-old Lancer. The biddy walks right up to my sister and says, "Who are you? You can't park here." My sister says, "Who are you? I can park here. This is guest parking." I'm now walking towards them. The biddy sticks her finger in my sister's face and tells her that her car is old and dirty. I then step between the 2 women and say, "Whoa, are you out of your effing mind?" I put my house up for sale the next weekend. I received a ton of negative feedback on the shrubs and sent the association invoices to pay me my condo fees back so that I could have my yard properly landscaped. They also kept charging us condo fees but stopped snow removal and banned recycling. In a surprising turn of events, the long-standing HOA president who had ruled the community with an iron fist was dethroned after evidence emerged of embezzlement. Residents were tired of her and started to investigate the association's finances. Shockingly, they uncovered a trail of financial mismanagement and unauthorized fund transfers leading directly to the president. The community voted her out in a special election. A new HOA president was committed to transparency and accountability. And our last story. How I shut down the HOA. I don't belong to a HOA, but the apartment complex I live in has something similar, kind of a renters association that's run by tenants. We have a full staff, president, VP, treasurer, etc. The landlord stays out of our business and lets us live our lives, only popping up to collect rent and handle the issues the association cannot. Like most other associations, ours is run by a squad of uber jerks. These knuckle-dragging crapheads have been a nuisance since day one, but I've been able to tolerate them until about 2 months ago. In the span of 2 weeks, we had 2 apartments broken into, 3 attempted break-ins, and several cars vandalized, plus 2 broken into. My apartment was one of those that was nearly broken into, and my car was vandalized, so I took this rather personally. I thought about it for a bit and brought a solution to one of our bi-monthly meetings. I work for a private security company and talked to our sales guy about making a deal with the association to provide security. Basically, I was willing to do on-call security for free in exchange for a cut-rate deal. I typically patrol an area not far from where I live in a company vehicle, basically an old police cruiser, so unless something super crazy is happening, I can typically respond to things as they pop up. The president shot down my idea. No big deal, it happens. So at the end of the meeting, I talked to those present about what they can do to limit or prevent being victimized in the future. A week later, we had another car broken into, a bunch of stuff stolen from inside. I took it upon myself at this point to start making random nightly patrols. I let the residents know what was going on and that I would always be wearing the same brown jacket and ball cap. I work nights and evenings and enjoy a good walk, so it wasn't a big deal to me. After the third or fourth night of this, I received a letter from the secretary stating that I wasn't allowed to be out walking around past a certain time. I shrugged and thought to myself, at least I tried. A few more nights went by and I came out to find my tires slashed. This crap was getting out of hand, and I started to wonder if maybe it was someone who lived here that was doing all of this. I reviewed the bylaws to see what I could do, only to find out that there was no such rule prohibiting me from walking the grounds at night so long as I wasn't doing anything illegal. I forwarded this information to the governing body of the association and resumed my walks. Nothing happened for a while, and I was starting to wonder if whoever was hitting our buildings had just gotten bored or moved on to better fare. Cue last week. I'm out walking with my dog, a very friendly Malinois Greyhound mix, when she starts barking at something. When she barks, it does sound aggressive, but all she really wants to do is run up and say hi. We walk in the direction she was barking and spy two crap bags trying to jimmy open a car door with a clothes hanger. They turn around and see me staring at them, my dog beside me, and do nothing. The light wasn't too good, so I moved forward to get a better look at them, and lo and behold, it's the president and secretary's sons. Even less of a surprise was that the car they were messing with didn't belong to them or anyone in their family. Unsurprisingly, they ran away right into the apartment building they live in. My dog and I ran after them. My desire to stop these guys overrode my common sense, and watched as they ran right into the president's unit. I laughed and called the cops while standing outside her door. They showed up maybe 20 minutes later and arrested the two little pickled turds. Right now, they're sitting in jail. The president and secretary have been deposed, and I'm telling this story on Reddit for sweet imaginary internet points. Feels good to see the people who didn't do their job or were part of the problem getting kicked out of their positions. It reminds us that everyone needs to do their part to make our neighborhood safe and successful. Thanks for telling your story. And I hope things get better in your community with more security and responsibility in the future. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.